Today we have a little bit of a treat for you. Allow me to introduce you to Fujifilm's brand new X-E5. And as usual, we're going to give you a quick run round of the body so you know what to expect. Now, this is a little bit of a jump forward from previous models from the X-E4. We've now got a really premium classic design with this thing with a machined aluminium top plate. So this is a very solid, strong unit. There's no plastic feels to this thing whatsoever as I'm holding it. And it's a very kind of weighty, but not in a heavy weight. It's a nice weighted camera, so it feels a little bit more premium than previous models. You may also know that we've got the brand new 23mm pancake lens, which is an f2.8 lens, as you can see there, which we'll talk about right at the end of this walkthrough. So let's talk about what we've got here at the front of the camera. Now you'll see straight away we have obviously the grip here and the front face of the camera. We also have our light there, which looks like it could be an optical viewfinder, but that's actually a sensitivity light, to get right evaluation of the scene. We've also got a little toggle wheel here, if you can see that. That just moves left and right. And that is going to give us a crop in or a zoom into the image as we're looking through the viewfinder, which is really handy if you're using manual lenses. We've obviously got our dial here and some nice clicks to that. Let's move around to the right side of the camera here, or the left side of the camera. And here we can see that we have our manual focus switch, continuous, and our single shutter. There we have a flap we can open up. And here we have 3 different inputs. And we'll have our microphone input there, or our remote input. We'll have USB, battery power there. Headphones can go into that USB-C mode. And at the bottom, you've got the micro HDMI. So some nice ports there on this particular camera. You can see it is a plastic door on that one. And then here we can see we have the diopter for the viewfinder at the top left side there, which rotates. As we come around to the back of the camera, we can see the style is very similar to how we had it in previous years with the X-E4. Very sleek, very minimal. And the screen pops out like so. So we've got our typical, we're used to it kind of Fujifilm screen, but now if you kind of wanted to film yourself, you could do that as well, which is a nice touch. And of course, I can go quite low and then back into its normal position. We have a circular viewfinder there. We have a new toggle wheel. It's to select your film simulation. So it's a new simulation dial. If we go to the top there, we'll see there's actually a top window to initiate that. So at the moment I've got FS1, and you might be wondering, what is FS1? As I scroll through, FS2, FS3, C, Standard, Velvia, all the different film simulations. Now these are your film simulation recipes, FS1, FS2, and FS3, something we've been asking for a long time. We'll talk about the top plate in a moment. Let's go back. Here we can see that we have our delete drive there. We have our play button. And we have our AEL and AFL switch. We also have another dial here. We have our joystick. And we have the menu button, display button, and of course, our quick cue button just there. So that's the rear end of the camera. Let's turn it up to the top now so we can see the top plate. Now we have Fujifilm engraved here, X-E5, pretty. We have our window there now to see our new film simulations and how they kind of look in the windows. You can see that dial moves around pretty nicely. I'll leave that in standard for now. Then we have our shutter speed here as usual. If you're a user of any Fujifilm cameras, you'll know that's become the norm now. We can see shutter A there. We have our exposure compensation to the right, just here. We have our on-off switch, which flicks back and forth. And of course, we have our shutter release button just there. Really, really nice. And hidden away just to the right here, you can probably see there's another button. And I believe that may be a function button or an FN button. I need to deep dive into that one exactly. But you've got another button there for that, if so. And in typical Fujifilm fashion, we can always adjust and change whatever we like to change. Moving back around to the other side of the camera, we're here. It's just completely minimal. Nothing going on there. And then back around to the front where we have our button to release our lens, which will then release our little pancake lens here. And you can see our sensor. In terms of the battery, it's still taking the old school originals. You'll recognize these. This is the W126S batteries. And inside here is where you'll also pop your SD card. That's not how you put the battery in. That's how you put it in. And your SD card slides right down there. So that's the overall overview of the particular camera itself. It's really well built, really, really nice. I'd like to see how it looks in silver. One thing I've just noticed actually on the camera now, I don't know if you can see that little window there. It's quite hidden. If I hold the camera like this, you don't see it. But if I move it into the light here, you can see that there. And I believe that's the sensor. So when you pop your eye to the viewfinder here, it's going to switch between the camera and the actual viewfinder. So the LCD in the viewfinder. If I pop my finger there, yes, that's how it does. All right, let's move on to the lens here. So as you can see, we have our 23mm pancake lens. This is so suited to this camera body. It's unbelievable how nice these work together. We've got our usual f-stops here. That's all clicky. Really nice. And there's a release button there. Once you do reach the A, you're kind of locked in. You got the release button to the right. Press that down and you can start moving again. In front here, you have another wheel or another dial. And that's going to be for your focus. And then when we look at the front of the lens, really petite, and it's really nice that it's an f2.8. It's weather resistant as well, really well built, suits the camera very, very nicely. Now, talking about the build of the camera, this is what we've been looking at, the particular build of this camera. But there's one extra thing that's actually really new with the X-E5, and that's the strap that you get with it. We can't not mention this strap. Take a look at this. So here you can see you get a nice, beautifully braided Fujifilm strap that comes with this camera. Really incredible. Really, really like this. It's premium, goes really well with this particular camera. So if the X-E5 interests you and it's a camera that you think you can get on board with, then head on over to castlecameras.co.uk and order yours now. It should be available as this video is released. Thank you. Beautiful.